Hey, Columbia. I want to say, how are you doing? I want you to be honest about that. It's okay if you're doing great or you're in between or it's been really tough for you. Wherever you are, this is just going to be a space for you to rest. And we're going to take this next few moments that we have to use our bodies and our minds to engage with rest. Now, I want to invite you to actually listen to your heart. Your heart's going to lead you. Some people might call it your inner self or your spirit. Whatever you call it, I want you to engage with being led today. As I lead you, know that I'm just your coach. I'm your coach, Kevin. And so you can be the one to say, actually, I'm gonna be led in this way. I love to say this adage, just be. This isn't another meeting that you have to prepare for. This isn't a space where you feel like you have to come in certain type of way. You just get to be here. So with that being said, I want you to pay attention to what you might be hearing, what you might be seeing, what you might be touching or tasting or smelling, and just be. Naturally, as I think about that, it just makes me want to close my eyes. So maybe you want to do the same. You can feel free to let go of any expectation that you're putting on yourself that is kind of weighing you down. Maybe you have a deadline. Maybe you have a class that's coming up. Maybe you have a meeting that is looming over your head. But why don't you just, for the next few moments, just be here? Now, I have an idea for all of us. Before we get started, it's gonna be a little weird, but just go with me. How about we all give ourselves a hug? It's gonna feel extremely weird, especially if you're doing this in person. But there's something about touch, actually feeling the warmth of someone. I want you to extend some compassion to yourself. And as a practice, think about extending some compassion to your neighbor. And as you do that, why don't you just shake out your body? Maybe you can start feeling where your feet are grounded. If you're sitting in a chair, I would invite you to do a big old trust fall. Allow your body just to be held. If you're doing this at home, even better, you could lay on a bed and you literally could just sink down into that bed. If you're standing, why don't you just root yourself and just plant your feet in the ground and like roots are coming down into the ground. We're going to get comfortable here as we take the next few moments to do an imaginative meditation. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, or you can keep them open, whatever you would like. I want you to imagine that just like someone would trace an outline of your hand, if you were doing a piece of art, I want you to picture yourself tracing the outline of your body. Are you aware of where you are, where you start and where you begin? And as you get to the top of your head, I want you to start focusing on your breath. Not to change it, but just to be a little bit more aware of it. You have breath. You have life flowing on the inside and outside of you. What a gift. I want you to imagine that you are walking. Maybe you're on your normal commute to class or to work or back home. And you can actually see the thought bubbles physically of your mind. And as you come up and you look at them, you can see all the different thoughts that you're having. Maybe that feels a bit intimidating. But I want to empower us that we can actually take thoughts captive that are not serving us or serving others. I want you to ask your inner self, your heart, your spirit, if you will, what thoughts you may have been thinking recently about yourself. Maybe you can see like they're written out above your head. And maybe just bringing them to the surface makes you realize the true nature of this thought. I want to encourage you not to judge your thoughts, as we've all had some crazy, wild thoughts, but empower you of what you do with your thoughts. Maybe if you've had these thoughts about yourself and you inherently ask your inner self, your heart, your spirit, if that thought is true. If it's true, I want you to let it stay. Maybe even embrace it. If you feel or sense, maybe from your body, your emotions, even memories that come up that thought is not true, I want you to imagine that you pick that thought and you take it captive. What would it be like if you could actually take captive every thought that is not inherently good? It's not growing you or serving people. What about the people around you? What thoughts have been popping up for you? Maybe there have been certain thoughts that have led you to have conversations with other people in your head. Or led you to more fear or anxiety. I want you to ask yourself, is that thought true? And you get to choose. Do you want to take that thought captive and say, you know what, I'm actually going to take that thought? And I want you to continue practicing this as thoughts start popping up and things that you no longer actually have to let thoughts rule, but you can have some power, some empowerment over your thoughts. And maybe there's just things that you feel like, I just need to release. Maybe things that have been weighing down your shoulders. You feel like you're carrying weights on your shoulders. Finally, just shrug your shoulders and just let them go. Maybe if it's something physical like this with your hands, you can just say, you know what? I'm going to release my hands and let it go. What a beautiful thing that we all have amazing minds. That create different thoughts based off of our experiences and in life. Why don't we, as a last step, ask our inner self, our heart, our spirit, what is some good we could do with our thoughts? I want you to pay attention to what pops up for you, whether there feels like emotions pop up, or pictures, or images, or memories, or things of that nature. And I want you to just note it. I want to give you permission to stay in this moment. If you feel like you want to even press pause on this video and rewind back and re-practice or you want to journal, or you just want to take some space and be where you are. Maybe you want to engage in some of the amazing resources that we have here at Columbia, whether that is engaging with a mental health therapist or a faith leader, or talking to a friend or a colleague. Whatever you are feeling that is a next step for you, I would empower you to take that next step. Use this moment as momentum. I'll see you next time, Columbia.